Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program PvP. I'm 4040 and I'm here with Mr. Mods. I've managed to get my bomber and interceptor and their launch craft into orbit around the moon and ready to strike at Nightshades assets after they attacked me previously. And watch on to see what happens. Enjoy! Hello everybody and welcome back. After lots of faffing around on the moon, I finally managed to get into an orbit near to our two targets. We've got the Bumblebee, which is 13k away, and the Mun refueling facility, which is 2.62k away. And we have only 3 meters per second worth of fuel left in these tanks, which if I have a look at one of them, is the tiniest of smidges. Look at that.
Wouldn't it be easier? Would it be easier just to get rid of the tanks now?
Yes, I believe so. So I'm going to hit F5 now, just in case Kerbal Space Program is being special and is messed my staging up. So it should be a simple case of hitting spacebar and all of these should go away. So in 3, 2, 1. Yes.
Here's an idea. Which is probably a good idea of coming up with it now, but those would be useful for hitting targets, maybe? Get close to a target and inject the fuel next to it?
What, those big things?
Yeah.
Oh, they're too late now, they're gone. Okay, we're pretty close to our target. So
F9!
I want to be able to make our way to the targets independently. From here on in, I think what I'm going to do is... have you got? You're that. You're that. What are you? You're them. Why are you? Okay. I need to resolve some of my issues because I'm going to decouple co-rotation. That's what I'm going to do. So let's turn the RTS off. I don't need to waste that. Okay. So now the rotation is killed. What I'm going to do is decouple this bad boy here by manually turning it on. Yep. So I am now all of a sudden not connected here, and it's still kill rotation on. For some reason it kept this pod. Usually it flicks to the other pod, but you know, RCS on. And what's back up? Is it N?
I think it's N, yes. Go on, heave! Get clear.
Right, I'm just going to let it drift. Don't need it to do any too far, because while it's drifting, I need to do a couple of things. Those couple of things are basically I need to do a little bit of maintenance here. So the first things first is I'm going to pull the engines down. Come on, pull the engines down. No, I didn't grab you. I grabbed you. It was highlighted. Come on, Kerbal. Kerbal is throwing a wobbly at me right now. It's like going, nope. Definitely not. Okay, so I need to sort the staging out because this is these things here. It didn't remember, even though it was sorted out on launch. It didn't keep the order that these are in. So I need to very quickly sort these out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just fast forward this little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing. But you're not going to be bored by sitting here for the next 5 minutes watching me just click on stuff. Okay, so this lot is ready to fire.
Yay!
I'm worried about hitting the spacebar in case it just launches them, even though it's obviously not the next one in line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate my engines.
Sensible move.
And I'm only going to hit the spacebar when I want to fire something. Right, let's find my... I need to relock my target, which, knowing my lock, it'll have drifted kilometres away from me by now. 5 kilometres and 5 kilometres. Fucking
That's
brilliant.
alright.
Oh, no, there it is. What are those ones then?
Your
oh,
pods.
that's the debris from my thing. Okay, so... Target, NI hive, okay. I think... I don't know if the best thing is for me just to point at the target. So what I'm going to do on F5 now, I've got this all saved and worked out, I'm going to point prograde towards my target, which is going to screw the rest of my orbit up, but if I can just scooch slowly close towards it. Okay, so as you can see, we're a lot more manoeuvrable now. Now I've got all the staging and stuff sorted out. Now that Mod's also scrunching up lots of sweet paper wrappers. Yay!
I need snacks while I'm watching this. This is entertaining for me. And educational too, boys and girls.
So I'm just using my RCS to point me around now. The idea is for me to... Well, I'm kind of close to the target. I'm tempted to launch now, but I know 280 meters from target is a little bit on the close side.
I would just like to point out that I'm actually eating Jaffa cakes and not sweets. Jaffa cakes, the food of gods.
Om nom nom Jaffa cakes.
Nom 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 Jaffa cakes indeed.
So instead of using MechJeb, what I'm going to do is manually pilot towards my target. Because MechJeb will do all kinds of weird orbital stuff, whereas I just want to scooch towards it, just nice and slowly. So I just got my engines on.
What sort of range are we looking at before we can actually open fire?
I'm looking to take a target at 150 and 100, then 50, and then if there's anything left of it, then at like point blank range, just nuke it in the face. Because when this fires, they're so forceful that they actually fire my little ship backwards.
Makes sense.
So I'm moving towards the target at 1.1, I think.
Your prograde marker isn't fully over your target, but I noticed it has drifted over despite you not even attempting to drag it over.
No, I'm not attempting. I'm just telling it to point at target as opposed to actually telling it to drag. Because like I said, I'm not attempting to actually dock with it. I just want to be pointing at the bugger, at which point it's fire for effect.
I wouldn't go too fast either. I mean, this is a good speed right now. If you go too fast, you'll have to worry about slowing down.
Yep, which is why N for my RCS would be useful, because it's only 3.1 meters per second.
Only?
But I can use my RCS as a thrust power of 1, so it should be able to scrub that off.
Only?
Well, let's put it this way. When I fire this, my ship goes backwards no matter what. It breaks for me.
Oh, okay. In that case, leave it, and then we'll see just how effective it is.
Yep. I can see him. I'm close enough to swap to him. Shall I have a quick peeky? Just while I'm drifting in slowly.
What did we agree the range was before you could actually go?
150 is the next one.
I mean, 150 before you can actually physically switch to it?
It's 30 kilometers when you can switch to it.
Oh, go for it! 30 kilometer. We're well within range.
That's what it looks like.
That's I don't know. No, flick back. We've got loads of time. Flick back. Let's have a spin around and everything. As long as you don't actually do anything, right? Oh, that's lots of pretty red lighting on there.
Iron engine, lights, fuel. There's docking nodes. So this is his refueling station that we're going to hit.
Seriously, where do the red lights come from? They're pretty.
They're part of the mod pack. So I'm pointing at target, even though I'm going to drift past it, which is actually good because I don't want to physically plow into the bugger. Right, so 150 meters away. So I'm about ready to fire my first shot, which I'm going to do from inside the cockpit. Ooh,
oh,
no, not time warping. Why am I time warping?
Slow down, slow down!
Oh, okay, we're 100 meters away. Why did you do that?
Ready, torpedoes!
Ready?
Fire one!
Okay, fire. And fire. There goes, first shot.
Oh, oh, oh! Strike!
That looks...
It's drifting back in your way as well? No, it's drifting back down again.
I'm going away from it now. Hold on.
Oh yeah, you said shit!
I'm reversing away from it now.
I do now, yeah. Fire two? Obliterate it!
Let's... just inch towards him a little bit. I want that number which is going away from him to...
You want to stop shrinking before you fire again. That makes sense,
Yeah.
it makes sense.
So I want to pull my prograde marker towards him.
Okay, prograde is now going towards it again. Bloody hell. I wonder how much of the impact is... You know, you say you're reversing from him. I also wonder how much of that is because of the... Would you still go backwards even if you hadn't hit the target, I mean? Is it most of the force from... Ah, okay.
I mean, as you can see, he's tumbling out of control.
You're also getting quite close.
I'm still 100 meters away from him.
80?
Right, I'm going to turn my
70?
RCS. I think that's my RCS on, so it can be more control. Okay, firing now.
Whoomp! Oh, wasted
missed.
shot. But you haven't
Missed.
slowed down all that much in comparison. Point the nose down a bit, sir. Oh god, you're still closing. How many shots you got left? 1, 2, is it?
Yeah, I've got 2 shots left. Well, it's now a spinning target, and I can use the game mechanics to cheat. If I use time acceleration, he'll stop rotating.
Nah, don't do that. Nightshade wouldn't think to use that either.
So I'm actually backing away from him now.
That looks perfectly lined up.
Right, one more shot. Thing is,
Go, go.
I have to lead. I reckon I'm gonna have to lead the target a little bit.
Go, go, go.
So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come out of cockpit view. Where's he? He's there. Wow, he is squirreling around, isn't he?
Have him before it's too late.
Okay, turn the RCS on. Fire!
Oh, is it going to be a strike? Oh, good hit. Good, solid hit. Oh, that's it. It's game over for that one. It's out of here.
Well, it's got his engine. He felt a bit. That's it. That's yes.
And he's still got a shot in hand.
I still got a shot in hand. Guess what?
What? You going to finish the job?
Where's the bumblebee gone?
Might be easy to look on the map and set it as your target and then look around for that.
Okay, now there's debris everywhere.
That's what happens when you blow shit up.
Yeah!
Good shot, sir.
And I've still got lots of fuel left. I'm really happy with that. It just fell apart. Should we have a look at the debris a bit? What's left?
Okay. Well, there's one bit of debris. There's another bit. There's another bit. Another one. There's lots of it, 40.
Jesus.
Wow, that fell apart and then some.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there's a spinny thing.
Uh-oh. He can't control it. Hold on, is there... Balls. He can stabilise this.
He can't do anything with it. It's got no RCS. It's got no throttle. It's got
See
3
that?
docking ports and some communitrons, and that's it.
Thing is, it's got MechJeb strapped to it, which means it'll probably stabilise it. Which means he could still use it to refuel from.
It's also got communitrons, so technically it's still a satellite, right?
I'm not sure if MechJeb is a proper control device or not.
It's a thingy in orbit with communitrons. Surely, you could, if that was you, you'd try and blag that as a satellite. Think about it.
Yes, but he's got no... Hold on, is his MechJeb on? It is as well.
It's got a shiny green light on it.
When his MechJeb is on, it's eating up electricity. There's no way of generating electricity on that, so that's going to be dead. That's got no batteries, no solar panel, no nothing. Whatever's in the residual charge inside that little MechJeb unit is the only thing that's powering it right now. So I'm happy to say that that's dead in the water.
All right, when you put it like that.
There we go. Right, so we got one shot left. Now, if I remember correctly, around here somewhere, if I zoom in, there is a bumblebee. Set as target. Okay, so now I'm going to point at target and have a look, see where he is. Where is he? He is there. He's 12 kilometers away. I'm going to just gently boost towards him. Probably going to do this in a bit of fast forward time because we're going to gently ease towards him.
Fucking hell, there's a debris field.
Yep.
You're gonna make like a little mini asteroid belt out of debris around the moon. That's just awesome.
So I'm catching up with him because he's gone past me now. I need to boost towards him.
You know he has bragging rights now because Nightshade Industries is a component. It basically makes up the asteroid belt around the moon. He can call it the Nightshade belt quite legitimately.
He could, but he's done the same to me with my interceptor. There's like a big debris field like this, which is just strung out because time's fast forwarded. Over lots and lots of little bits just drifting around the equator of the moon. Except I'm pretty happy that I've destroyed his ship, whereas he only mildly inconvenienced my ship.
Mildly inconvenienced. An interesting choice in words.
Well,
I'd say he scratched your paintwork, nicked the body panel, and went, lol, try now. To which he just put your key in the ignition, turned it over, and just drove off so nothing was wrong.
Yeah, well, the little interceptor that I didn't control at the start that I showed people was fully operational. Yes, its weapons capacity had been somewhat reduced and had most of them ripped off, but it still had 4 shots. 4 small shots, but it still had 4 small shots. The pilot was still alive, still had RCS, still had engine power, and was still completely full of fuel. So now I've got, if this guy expends his last shot and then goes home, I've now got 2 interceptors sitting around the moon happily. One in a orbit around the equator and one in an orbit around the poles, which is actually an ideal situation if you think about it. So what this guy's done, MechJeb has done, is got me back on target after me being a little bit derpy, and now he's slowing me down because I told him I wanted to be within 200 meters. And 100 and something meters, which is fine.
Verily.
So I think he's literally just going to do. Yep, I think he's done. So target plus. So he's now slowed me down in comparison to him. Now I've only got 1 shot. That last shot I did at the other one was actually quite close, wasn't it?
Reasonably, yeah. You were within, what was it, 50 at one point?
Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm not going towards him particularly fast, only 0.1 meters per second. So I'm going to turn off his RCS so I don't waste it, and I'm going to. Right, this is his ship. There we go. Now we're really close. Now, how the ship worked, it went up as in one thing with the other one it had behind it.
And now it's in several!
See this section here? It came out to the big round thing that sat in front of it that he fired off at me. He tried doing these side pods, exactly the same weapon setup as what I'm using now with the large boosters set up in a row. But when he pressed the spacebar, it literally just went ka-clunk and just let go of them. Both of them at the same time. And I went, oh, such a shame. So, I mean, he's got quite a thin craft, so if I balls this shot up, I want to actually line up the direction that mine are in, because mine are at angles. So I need to get close enough to be able to hit him, but basically I want to... He's got... By the looks of it, these two are... No, that's what SAS. So the front pod is the only control device on this.
Where's MechJeb on there? Is that it on the back? No. That was the reaction wheel I saw, never mind.
There. So if I behead it, that's it, the craft is unusable because the control device is gone.
Off with its head!
So yes, but I would also like to perhaps hit that because they tend to explode with force. They don't shear off, they tend to go pop. These two bits would be a bit pointless hitting because they don't do anything anymore. So it's that, and if I can get both hits to hit it, let's try it. Let's try it, shall we? So let's flick back to my ship. Now I'm gonna boost forward. Let's go 1 meters per second, and I'll have my RCS to slow myself down. Now I'm gonna do this. Let's just. Right, it looks to me like he's kind of like.
Oh, that'll do.
That direction?
Yeah, that looks like the sort of plane you need to be on.
So I'm just going to wait for this to tick down.
You've only got the one shot left now, haven't you? So you can't miss with it.
Yep, I only got one shot. This is a, well, it'd be nice if, but now the fact that this little guy's got nowhere to refuel, he's not got any weapons, but this is the craft that attacked me. This is the aggressor right here. This guy is the bad guy. You're
aggressively defending NC and TI products, as it were.
Right, N is slowed down, is it not? I think we worked that one out already, didn't we?
Yes, but you won't need to worry about that because when your rockets fire, when your weapons fire, that'll deliver some form of braking anyway.
True, but I want to have the time to try and get lined. Am I lined up? Will it just pass either side, or?
I think you're drifting slightly to its right as we're looking at it now, but if you fire now, that would be a good hit.
Right, should I do it in cockpit?
Yes, no. Actually, yes, go in cockpit because you can line up just a little bit better. Where is it? Down a bit, I think. Oh, there we go. Don't know what you did there, but well done.
Okay.
That's
ready?
Too low. I think you need to go down.
Well,
I'm
pointing directly at him.
Down a bit. There we go. Try that. Oh shit, it's getting close. Do you remember that scene in... Oh, go, 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 go! Yes! Off with his head!
Yeah!
I was about to say, do you remember that scene in the pilot episode of Firefly where Serenity sat there and the Reaver was just about to fly overhead? That was what that was just then. Except Serenity had weapons. Rah! Fuck off, Reaver!
Wow, another debris field.
2 for 2.
Let's have a look, see what's left of this guy. So he's got... Is this the other debris field or is this guy?
You've just added to it.
No, this is the new debris field. This is a bit of a way away. So that's... You can obviously tell these are bits of the craft we just looked at. It looks like he just... There you go, there's his SAS. There's one of his... There's his fuel. There we go, there's his...
That'd be interesting.
What's he got on here? Has he got power generation?
A battery, I see.
I'm not seeing any power... I'm not... Can you see
I see some... I see RCS ports, but I don't see any RCS. I don't see anything that's generating power. I just see that one battery.
And he's got...
Go on.
And he's left his lights on, look. That's going to run out of power really quickly.
And there's a MechJeb unit on there still, which is green.
Yep, so that's going to run out of power as well.
Are you allowed to look at how much resources that thing has, or are you just allowed to look at it?
No, I'm not allowed to look at how many resources it has.
Right, that's a good clarification there. Nice one.
Because I wouldn't be able to tell without docking, would I?
You can't dock with that anyway. That is dead in the water. It's got no RCS, no way of generating power. It's got limited power on it.
One of these around here is me. I just don't know where I am in comparison to it. Because this got launched. This is gone.
That is a nice... Why don't you switch onto the map view and show us just how this asteroid belt now looks?
I'd have to go to the Space Center actually to show you.
Actually, that's a good enough view. Fucking hell, that's a lot of rings now. The moon has its own rings.
Well, you've got my ship, you've got the MVT, CIP MVT, Bumblebee Worker Delivery System, another MVT ship. I'm not quite sure what's going on. Oh, that's one's the bomber, one's my interceptor. I need to rename them. You've got the Mun. That's you. That's me smashing his probes off, I think.
Possibly.
Because, yeah, these are probes, so I disintegrated it. It had lots of little probes all over it, I suspect. But what I want to do is go back to my ship, find it. Going back the opposite direction, just flicking through the debris. There we go. Right, so I think that's the pod, because it's purple. I think. Wow. I don't know what to say. Mission successful.
Has he got anything left at all?
No, that's it. That's full weapon. His last shot literally took out the last ship. That was like a do or die moment, and he worked.
Okay, let me rephrase. Has Nightshade got anything left to take out?
In orbit around the moon, we're looking at ships more than anything else. He doesn't have any. He's got satellites, I think.
Who landed on the moon?
Me, remember?
No. That's why I asked.
That was my last episode with you, which is live on YouTube. Is CIP, Criax Industries. We landed on the moon. We were seeing if MechJeb worked. Remember, I took 2 payloads up with me, and I took something up for you, and I needed to balance it, so I took a little lander just to land on the moon.
What you mean is you took a lander and you needed to balance it by taking something up for me.
Anyway, Nightshade. Nightshade has, NI Worker Delivery System probe. They're just probes, I think. They got my satcoms. Nightshade Industries. Mun Processing Station is the one that he put up before, earlier on.
Mm.
So I don't think that one's a threat. I don't think that one was part of the attacking force. Also, I can't be. I'm in the wrong orbit to attack that, if that makes any sense.
You also have one other ship that you sent up on the same launch to deal with.
I do, but I want to kind of leave that in. The bomber's going to go home, so I want to leave the interceptor I just sent up in a polar orbit, and I want to leave the interceptor. Theoretically, the interceptor that's in orbit around the Mun's equator is the one which is in the ideal situation to attack this guy. But I can't control him. Remember, the rules are that you can either control 2 craft that are already in space, or a launch. But the launch can have multiple craft inside of it, if you're clever. So I've only got control of, and my turn is the interceptor I've literally just sent up that I want to leave around in that orbit. Plus, I don't think that is a problem. I don't think it is. So, in answer to your question, other than some satellites, and he's got 1 station here that I don't think is actually much of anything, is much of a threat at the moment, I think I've dealt with Nightshade around the moon.
Yay, until next turn.
So, on that regard, I want to send my little bomber home, I think. And I also want to, once we get home, I need to remember to rename... work. It's lagging so hard. I want to rename my ship, which I leave, which I think is that one. I'd rename it as a different name. Because otherwise we're just going to get all confused. Anyway,
Yes.
so let's go back to staging. Right, we're back at my bomber. Now I want to send him home. He's done his job. The bombers are designed not to just hang around in orbit. I can reload him. For example, let's show you how they reload. If I want to reload it, I send up, you know, the armaments that this was armed with.
Yes.
Well, you notice here a docking port here.
Yep.
So I send up the armaments in just a big group with a tug or something carrying them, and the tug brings it here and then mates it to this docking port, and the bottom end of the armament has this configuration on it. And just to make myself ready for rearmaments, all I have to do is basically decouple like so. And then we can just drive up, fly up with a tug and reload it. I mean, that I'm thinking ahead in terms of once I've got a significant amount of force up in the air, and some of them will need rearming. And he's going to bump. Bump. Yeah, there we go. So if I have a significant number of ships up in orbit, they'll need rearming. It probably will be more cost effective then to send one big kind of utility vessel up with lots of rearming and lots of fuel to basically get everything up to optimal position. But right now, I don't think it's in my best interest to leave this guy up because he's got no way of defending himself. I'm not looking to rearm him any soon. He is literally just a floating target. And there's 2 Kerbals I want to deny his kills to Nightshade Industries because I'm under no under no kind of how would you say it?
Obligation?
Yeah, I'm under no obligation to leave stuff up here just so Nightshade can shoot at it. So, unlike the interceptors, the bombers, this one, and the assault craft, which you haven't seen yet, which are like bombers but they've got a shit ton of small weaponry, they're designed to do one attack and then go home unless it's in their better interest to stay up in orbit, like if I hadn't have shot all my shots off. So, bearing that in mind, I'm going to say, hello MechJeb, I want to go home. No, it's not doing it. Alright, let's do this the old school way.
On that note, 4040, I don't know if you've read Skype, but I have to depart now, sadly. So close to the end, I'm sure. It is a shame, but I do have to.
Okay, I'm going to have to continue this on my own. So, everybody, well, you can't say goodbye to Mod, but I'm going to say goodbye to Mr. Mod. Goodbye, Mod.
No worries, mate. Catch you in a bit. Hope you get back to Kerbin safe.
Yep. Good
kills, good kills. See you all soon.
Hello everybody and welcome back. I've just had a little bit of a annoying time of trying to get back from the mon. So I accidentally left the fast forward on and ended up crashing my ship straight into Kerbin. In fact, it didn't crash, the computer didn't even work it out, it just went poof and disappeared. So I've had to redo it from the mon, got caught up around the mon a couple of times, couldn't escape it, and it looks like I'm on a nice little trajectory to land on some soft, hard ground, because as everybody knows, landing on the ocean in KSP is actually harder to land on than the ground because it's less forgiving, and I'm not even sure that makes sense to me either. But after a whole 20 days, 2 months, 20 days, 32 hours and 35 seconds, we are just about starting to slide into the atmosphere of Kerbin, looking at a lovely view from the coast. I suspect the view from inside the cockpit will also be very nice, but what I'm doing, because we're coming in hot, and when I say we're coming in hot, what I actually mean is we're coming in like very, very, very hot. So I'm just going to let the craft just squirrel around in the atmosphere as it starts to get buffeted by the air, and we can watch all those lovely flame effects. Yeah! All those lovely flame effects just ripple around the ship. I love them. When they brought them in, I was so happy. Before they had the flame effects, there was not really much else to work out. So we're coming down pretty fast. So what I'm going to do is decouple the pods. And yep, yes, clean, excellent. So we're still coming down mighty hot, but I'm hoping that we're not going to come down too hot. As you can see, it's a fairly streamlined ship. It's got a lot of weight behind it, so that's going to plummet away at a breakneck speed, where I hopefully gently just set down on the surface. And I can turn off the RCS because I don't need that anymore. I'm going to turn that off because I'm going to let him come down under his own speed. Because we're using a capsule that's part of a plane capsule, as opposed to a spacefaring capsule, because it doesn't have a heat shield and therefore centre of balance isn't at the back of the pod, it will try go nose into the ground, as opposed to the ones that do have heat shields where most of the weight is at the back and therefore the pod always orientates so it lands bum first. This is going to land nose first, but as you can see I've got a decoupler on its nose, which means that it's going to be able to do physical braking, as well as being able to do aero braking, which is what it just did, otherwise it would have sailed past it. Aero brake down to nice speed, but when you hit the ground, if you have something to explode, it has an effect called physical braking. Wow, look at that! That's cool. I wonder if anything survives. Not sure. Anyway, what I'm going to do is still things exploding. That's so cool. I might have to have a look at them in a bit. Stuff everywhere. I'm going to fast forward this. I'm going to wait for my shadow to appear on the ground, which is not at the moment. It looks like we're coming down in the dusk. Oh, there's my shadow. So when that starts getting nice and close, Fast forward a bit closer. Closer! Closer! You see it's going red, it's having in the time it's having a real hard time trying to work out what's happening. Now I hope this isn't too nasty a slope. I hope this is just a nice gentle put down for the boys. They've had a long hard trip of it. Hopefully not too many things explode on me. So here we go, touchdown. Yes! It worked! Yeah, so there we go. That is one hell of a successful mission. Let's see if I can see the other bits. The armor plate survived and is apparently rocking. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Huh. The armor plates are having a party. If I keep flicking back to us. So lots of armor plates survived. The girders, these things always survive. The girders always survive. And back to my lads. So the guys, from me and the guys, this has been one hell of an excellent trip. So I'm gonna recover these little dudes. Let's have a look what they're. Look at that view, eh? Happy to be home again, aren't you, boys? Yep, definitely happy to be home. So back to Space Center. We're going to recover this particular vessel so it can't be hit, and then I'm going to have to go back, deploy a couple of satellites from the interceptor that was left around the Mun, deploy a couple of satellites, and then rename the vessel, the interceptor that's around the Mun, because it's going to need to be renamed. So let's find my splashdown, which is right there. So MVD ship CIP, I'm going to recover. So now it's no longer attackable. That's all that's left for me to say is thank you very much for watching. This has been Kerbal Space Program PvP, and if I do say so myself, I've been rather successful. Tune in next time to see what Nightshade is going to do, and also, if at all, what Tuxedo's Industries is going to get up to in the meantime. And I'll see you next time. If you've enjoyed this, please hit the thumbs up and the like button. If you're not signed up to Google Plus and you don't want to be, and you don't want to have to go for that MigRot, you can still get in contact with me via Twitch and Facebook. The links will be below. Alright, you guys stay safe and we'll see you next time. Bye now.